guys, we're back with the principal's chair. So last week, Coach Coco and I talked about sports and tough love. Now, this week I'll be covering 3 points, specifically talking to my parents and to my parents with kids in school and or kids who play sports. So first point that I want to get to, guys, we're jumping straight into it. The first point that I want to get to is being able to manage your emotions. A lot of times as an assistant principal, I get kids who talk about coaches or who talk about teachers and say that coaches disrespected them or a teacher disrespected them. And really, every time I go back through the scenario, I have the kids tell me the story, tell it to me slowly, and then I ask them to pick out the point where the coach or the teacher disrespected you. And more times than not, we can't find that in the story. And the biggest thing is kids will tell me, well, they yelled at me or they said it in a way that I don't like. And I encourage my students and my student athletes to do your best in taking your emotions out of the situation. Make sure that you are able to look at what a person is saying and not how they say it. Because I feel like a lot of times we miss the message when we take the time to look at how somebody says something to us rather than what they actually say. You know, people can say stuff to us all the time, and we hear the tone of their voice or the facial expression that they make when they say it, but completely ignore what they're saying. So guys, I encourage you, please make sure that you are able to take the emotion out of what somebody says to you and actually listen to what they say. All right, the second point that I wanted to hit was, as coaches and teachers, guys, we have to know our students and our players. Now, anytime that there's going to be a learning curve when it comes down to teaching a kid a concept in academics or teaching a kid a concept in sports, you have to know who they are in order to be able to teach them. And then to the flip side of that, talking to my student athletes, guys, you have to meet your coaches halfway, right? When it comes down to you learning something, whether it be a skill or whether it be a concept academically, you have to show up. And when I say show up, I don't mean just show up to practice, but I mean that you have to show up mentally, right? In order for you to learn anything or for you to get better at anything, we first have to be there mentally, all right? And then the physicality comes behind that. So if you're making excuses as to why you can't do this or why you can't do that, then expect failure. And parents, I need you to understand that too, because I know in a lot of cases, you know, you are the kids' transportation to and from practice, and you're also the kids' motivation in their academics. So we have to be the coaches and teachers behind the scenes as parents to make sure that our kids show up mentally and physically. All right. And the last topic I want to hit on, guys, is that perception is reality. As a coach or as a teacher, you showing up prepared for your job sets the example for our students and our student athletes, making sure that you're dressed the part, making sure that you're talking the part. And our kids see this type of thing every single day. So however you present yourself to our students and to our athletes, that is exactly how they're going to see you. If you can have the right thing in your mind, but if you are not presenting that to our kids, they are gonna give you back whatever you give to them. Flipping to the other side with our athletes, please make sure that you show up prepared as a student and as an athlete. So if you're going to practice, make sure that you have your shoes, make sure that you have your cleats. So whatever the gear is that you wear to your practice, make sure that you have that. Make sure that you show up on time. When you go into the classroom, the tools that you'll need, whether it be your pencil, a calculator, notebook, or whatever electronic device that you'll be using in that classroom, make sure that you have those things and present yourself to your teacher as someone who's prepared and ready to learn. And if we both, as a teacher or a coach and as a student and as an athlete, if we both have those things together, guys, I promise anything that you're willing to learn or anything that you're willing to put your mind on and get better at, it will happen.